What's up, my friend? That baby's sleeping, and I got a minute. To catch up with you. So let's start. Let's start with a nice big breath in. And I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna close my eyes and just come to you today with something we gotta speak to, especially when it comes to this path of evolution and expansion and showing up for our healing. There's a huge role that this specific thing plays in all of it. I'm gonna look up the definition of the word. But while I'm doing that, a little catch up on you, girl. I feel like I have gone through the integration portal from the Guatemala retreat and then the Carolina Bloom retreat. We spent this past weekend up in Michigan for my friend Amber Blair's wellness event. That was really cool. I am finding that it feels really freaking good to just be invited into places. Not so much creating them for myself or my community, but going and visiting other people's communities and people and just being in my lane, where I like to be, which is, opening the space, closing the space, making space for breath. And there were tears, and I got to see, a really amazing grown man shed some tears. That was cool because, we'd be bottling shit up. We'd be holding on to stuff, and it just adds up. It adds up when we don't release it and let it move. Grateful for the opportunity to have been there and held the space. And after the event, we went to the Lake Michigan, the coast, and that was awesome. One thing about my love, Jerome, is he is if you know human design, he's a 5-1, and 5-1s are full of facts. They like to know facts about things, and Jerome definitely holds a lot of facts. I had no idea that Lake Michigan was 60 miles across. It feels very much like you're at an ocean. My bonus daughter, Harper, she loved swimming in there. I was I was fine with it, but the beach that we went to was just packed with people. It reminded me of A Wrinkle in Time, the movie scene where they're, this really packed beach. That's what it felt like. So it wasn't necessarily my jam, but when you take kids places and you take them on adventures, you get to experience their excitement and their joy, and that just really lit me up and made me so happy. So it was a good weekend, and work travel is kind of slowing down for a while, and we have some fun family trips next. This weekend we're going to a theme park, gonna ride some roller coasters, and I'm just sitting in this liminal space of being between chapters when it comes to my work. It's just such an interesting place to be. I've been revisiting, the energetics around the courses and all of the leadership trainings and everything that we did for 2 years inside of Illumination Wellness. It was beautiful. While a part of me has been wishing that I could get back into the space where I felt lit up about promoting and hosting courses again. But I'm just not there. So I have to respect that. And it would be doing anybody that joins the course is a disservice because it wouldn't be authentic. And, as much as my bank accounts would love to do it again, as much as like a piece of my heart would love to do it again, there's a larger part of my heart that knows that moving forward, things are just meant to look different. And that area of trust can be so damn hard to sit in when you don't know fully what the path ahead looks like. I have a little bit of an idea, but I don't fully know. And what I want to speak to today is, this operating mode that I have done my best to program within my own mind and beingness, and an operating mode that I really value in others that I surround myself with. And it's just operating from a place of integrity. And I had never even thought about integrity prior to maybe like 2017 or 18, when my sweet, sweet friend, Lisa Gergasco, who is also she is my money mentor. She was like, are you in a place of integrity with your word? And I wasn't fully at that point. There were things that I was not following through with. There were things that I was like committing to and not showing up for fully. And all of those things they're just like little leaks. They're just like little energetic leaks or holes that make it so that any goal that we're setting or any direction that we're wanting to go with can't really fully be actualized because of these leaks and these holes. And so integrity is really what can like strongly build the boat in which you are sailing forward. And integrity, by definition, it means steadfast adherence to a strict moral or ethical code. And, I tend to believe that we all have this compass inside of us where we know what's right. We know what's wrong. The control matrix wants to blur those lines and wants to trick us into believing things that are wrong are actually right. But when you start really connecting to yourself on deeper and deeper levels, you will gain access. You gain access to this moral compass that we all have. And, it's mostly like doing no harm to ourselves, to others, to the planet. And we want to, the control matrix wants us to like justify when harm is being done through revenge or getting even or looking out for our needs. And in reality, harm being done is just, more harm. It's just more harm being added to the collective. And so deciding to operate from this place of integrity, it's really is a game changer, because inside of that, you really have to tell the truth, and you really can't lie, and you don't really want to lie, because you know what happens when you do. You know what happens when you stray away from your truth. And there are so many people that are just living completely disconnected from their truth, completely disconnected from integrity. And we really can't fault anyone for that, because oftentimes it's just in place to they think it's keeping them safe, or they think it's protecting someone else, right? How often growing up did we, lie to someone that we love because we thought it would like be better for them. And so, this idea of infusing integrity into all areas of our lives, it's going to require us to be really honest with where we are, really honest with what's not working, honest about where we want to go, where we are falling short. Nothing in our outside world can change until we change. I am hugely in that remembrance. in my own path of getting back onto my feet after tragedy. And inside of all of it, I'm just like, oh, thank God, like I've made integrity like a pillar of how I show up. And it may mean that uncomfortable conversations have to be had. It may mean that relationships may dissolve, career paths, opportunities may dissolve. But if you are laser focused on, sticking to this ethical code, one of the other words that the definition has for integrity is soundness. This soundness, like I love that word, soundness, like making your inner world so completely sound that the outside world can crumble, and within you there's still this connection point to this unwavering knowing. And again, I can only speak to this because the past 2 years of my life have made it so that I have to know that everything's going to be okay when it very much feels like it's not okay. And so, that's what I wanted to say today. Let us all decide that we can move forth and let integrity be the wind in our sails. We don't have to step on anyone else's toes to go where we want to go. We don't have to lie or cut corners or be out of integrity in any areas anymore. And that wholeness that gets established when we make that decision, it feels really freaking good. I would love to know where integrity has played a role in your life. And one last thing I'll say about this is, there is a huge amount of beings out there who will portray certain things in their relationships or in their work settings or on social media, and they want to make you believe that they are a certain person in a certain way, and then behind closed doors, or when something goes wrong, or when they are knocked off of their center, a whole different being gets activated. And that shit is poisonous to our reality. We don't have to be perfect, but we do need to be honest about who we are and do the sometimes hard work of being in alignment with who we say that we are, and sitting with those monsters that may come out. It's okay if they're there, and we will stop the harm cycle by healing them. And there is a path to healing them. So if there's one thing that throughout my decade in this path, while it's confused some people that have been watching when I post online, like, oh, you're doing this now, oh, you're on this path, or oh, you're starting this. And I move fast, y'all. I move fast, and I make things happen fast. But I'm designed to do that. And I'm designed to sample paths and identities and ways to move through the world. It's my dharma. I've learned that. And I've had to silence a lot of judgment around certain decisions that I've made so that I could just accept. But one thing I am proud of myself for amidst all of the change is that I'm going to tell you exactly how it is. And I don't need to pretend to be someone I'm not anymore. Because integrity is the most important thing. So that's it for today. Let me know how this lands. Let me know how you're doing. Love to hear feedback. Love to hear. I just love hearing, I was at Carolina Bloom, and just ladies that I hadn't seen in a while, they're like, yeah, I'm listening to your podcast. I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Because I really, I don't know who's listening. I just keep doing it because it feels good. So may we all keep doing the things that feel good. Let's take a big breath in together. And let's let it go. Love y'all. We'll see you soon.